Good morning. We're at ITSF 2019 in Brighton, and this morning I'm interviewing Heiko Gerstung from Meinberg. Good morning, Heiko.
Good morning.
Heiko, beautiful seaside town in the UK. What do you think of Brighton?
Yeah, I like it very much. You typically know the seaside of the south of this island in TV shows or whatever. So I've never been here, and it really looks like on the pictures, and very nice seaside.
Good. So, any news from Meinberg that you can give us that you're doing at the moment? Give us an update.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. One thing is that we released a few new products, and I'm not sure why, but we had a lot of product launches in a very short time. So we came out with our new multi-frequency, multi-band GNSS receiver. We have a new CPU model for our IMS platform, which allows people to upgrade performance on their existing units. And we also had some new interface cards for some new industries. So a lot of product news going on. And obviously we this year we finalized the acquisition of this Austrian company called Oregano Systems, which also is big news for Meinberg, because this is our very first acquisition in the company history for which lasts for 40 years. So
excellent.
Very exciting year.
Yeah, great. So Heiko, what was your primary reason for acquiring Oregano?
Yeah, Oregano is a long-term technology partner, so they provided our PTP implementation on all our PTP-related products. That means they are in the very core of a lot of our most important products, and so for us it was obviously one reason was to try to secure that technology, make sure we still have access to it in the future, preferably forever, but obviously in the, let's say, the situation on the market in terms of finding engineers, finding new people is always a tough one, probably in most countries, especially in Germany. So we were happy that we not only secure our technology, we also add 10 highly skilled, very capable engineers with very, let's say, specific knowledge about timing, which is also not something you can find very often. So that was also a very important part of our, let's say, reasoning behind the acquisition. So, and we are very happy with it. It's working out great.
Excellent. So, in which industries do you see the most interest with regards to sync?
Well, at the moment, I would say that we see a lot of traction from the broadcast industry, although obviously customers in that area trying to migrate to IP, they typically don't throw away all their existing gear. So we see slow migration with some customers, but there's also quite a lot of, let's say, light tower or lighthouse projects where you have people building greenfield studio complex which requires a lot of sync equipment as well. So broadcast industry is at the moment, I would say, the industry where we see a lot of movement, but basically everything else is also, everyone is ramping up. Telecom is looking for 5G, which is also buzzing in terms of preparations or trials or whatever. And finance is a little bit, let's say, quieter after most people probably at least tackled MiFID II compliance. That's probably the short overview of all the industries.
Okay,
really.
Just one quick question. Data centers, are you seeing any movement activity in that sector?
Well, yes, we have some hyperscale customers, and they typically, when you are redesigning data centers these days, we see that those customers start to take into account synchronization, which is something they did not do, or most of them did not do in the past. So whenever a customer is actually setting up a new infrastructure and he can plan from scratch, he does not have to migrate or upgrade his existing infrastructure. We see people actually thinking about synchronization at an early stage, which is very new, because typically people think about synchronization at the very last minute,
Yes.
and so we see some activity in data centers as well.
Okay. Finally, Heiko, ITSF is the largest time and sync event in the world, and I think the speaker lineup confirms that we're seeing significant interest from the vertical market, such as the ones we've spoken about: broadcast, finance, industrial automation, etc.
Right.
What value does the ITSF bring to the time and sync industry as a whole?
Well, it's really one of the unique events that brings together not only vendors and suppliers of the vendors, but also the end customers, the end users, operators. So there's it's pretty special. So I don't see, let's say, a comparable event where we can meet so many different customers. I still think there's let's say, a slight trend towards telecom. Obviously, the history of the event is more telecom, but we see a lot of other industries and a lot of other, let's say, customer groups or target audiences showing up, and that's very, very helpful, very productive week for us.
Thank you very much, Heiko.
You're welcome. Thank you.